Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Gilded Tarot by Cyril Marchetti. There's a website in the bottom of here, llewellyn.com, but I think the current website is usgamesinc.com. It's on a different box, which I don't have right next to me right now. Supportive Oracle Cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle Cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen Raish Baskin. There's a couple websites in the back here. ToriHartman.com is one, WatkinsPublishing.com or WatkinsPublishing.co.uk is another. Feel free to freeze frame if you need that information or want it, whatever. All right, Cancer. What do we hit? Ooh, that's a real good card to start with. You started right off with the Lover's card. Not that this has to be a love reading. It's a general read, of course. Somebody really likes you, that's for sure. But exactly where that's going is the question. Because the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups are flanking it on the other side. Does not have to be a love reading, especially since it's a general read. But somebody, if it is a love reading, it's a single person, just to be fair, because this is usually my single card. If it's something else like a business reading, this is somebody who has ideas or wants to pull you closer, that's very self-sufficient and very successful. Very self-sufficient, definitely. Very self-sufficient. I keep getting at for sure. Successful is usually, this card is very successful, usually, at least the way I read it. But I'm getting self-sufficient. When they need something done, they do it. They set a plan in motion, they make sure it's carried out. Very reliable person. Very reliable. This is also somebody who doesn't ask for help very often. Because it's hard, because they have a high standard. Self-sufficient is kind of coming in. I think that's why that's so strong, is because they definitely are committed to success. In the sense of I'm committed to making this happen, so if I have to do extra work, or if I have to change things, or have to work a little bit, if I have to work in a way that's uncomfortable for me, I will still do that, because I will have the success. I'm not willing to walk away from success. It will happen. And they go into something kind of it may not go off exactly as planned, but it will be successful, because I will not let it not succeed because of something I just refuse to do. If there's a way for it to succeed, it will. That's kind of the attitude they have. They put a lot of stress on themselves. You being a part of this would make that a lot easier on them, because you do have a very reliable, respectful, if you got involved with this person, you would know that. And you would match that. You would not only know it, but you're well, if I'm going to do this, I'm expected to be that level, and I'm going to do it. Otherwise, I'm just not going to be a part of it. Could be romance, could be business. Whatever this is, you realize whoever this is very... if they're setting the stage, they expect the whole thing to play out a certain way, and they have every intent to committing to it. Just in case it's a romance thing for some of you, I feel like that may be one of the things that maybe you need to realize, in the sense of this is something that this person isn't going to get involved in you in a halfway situation. They're going to get involved with you expecting this to go further. They might be thinking marriage, and they just want to see if you actually do match up, or if you actually feel the same way they do. Just to be fair, if it's a romance thing. And it doesn't have to be literal marriage, but some type of permanent commitment type connection. Sometimes people buy property together, or they do certain things that kind of bonds them together in different ways. It doesn't have to be a marriage contract, but I think you understand what I'm saying. This person is thinking long term for this connection with you, whatever it is. Business, romance, something else, whatever it is, they're thinking long term connection. When I get the Seven of Pentacles, to me, sometimes it's the never ending story. Which I feel like Cancers, they like that. Tell me if I'm wrong, but Cancer typically doesn't like change from my experience. I got a sister that's one, she does not like change. She doesn't like surprises either. Whether they're good or not. So if something's going to last, and last for a very long time, it's kind of like, well, that means there's not going to be change, so that's cool. I feel like Cancer's on board with that. Let me know. For the most part, like there's different flavors of Cancers. I know. You just don't know if you want to move forward on this, or you're not really. I feel like maybe you're not realizing that this person is interested in whatever this is, business, pleasure, whatever it may be. You're not really seeing it. Yeah, you're not seeing it. But you would like it to be there. If you're not seeing it, but you like it to be there, how do you open that door? Because you're the one that has to start the communication. I feel like they should be dropping hints, but it's almost like when somebody flirts and they think they're flirting, but either you're not picking up on it or it's just like so obscure. Like maybe they offer you a pen to use during some type of situation. They're like, to them that's flirting, and to you it's like, no, I needed a pen. I don't understand how that's flirting. Or vice versa. Maybe they're like smiling and not and doing all this stuff, and it's just going right over your head. I've definitely been that one. Definitely. I've been that one where like later people are like, I flirted with you so much, and I'm like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, I'm sure. It just, I don't know. I'm just not there on that one. I don't know why. Although sometimes I don't want people to flirt with me, so I will play dumb purposely. So just to be fair, kind of like if I'm not responding, I probably don't want to. Just to be fair. So how do we move this forward? Because I keep holding this card here, this Four of Pentacles. Look closer at this person. Like if there's somebody you like, because I feel like you got the Lover's card here. Like you feel for this person, you're just not thinking it's reciprocal, is what I'm getting. Not they don't have negative energy towards you, but you're just like, I don't think they really like me or something. Or when they flirt, it's so minimal, or just so the way they flirt is just so it's not your language. It's just not your love language. Let's just do it that way. It's just not hitting. You're just not seeing it. Opening the door might be through compliments. Okay. I mean, that's not a bad thing. If you notice something about that person, especially if it's about their self-sufficiency, if you compliment their self-sufficiency, because I keep getting this person's very self-sufficient, you may be surprised at how they warm up to you quite well, quite quickly. This is a very self-sufficient person. They pride themselves on that. And if you make note of that and you compliment them on that, that's the easiest way to warm up, get them to warm up even more to you. It's like you're going to see they're going to like that. So if there's somebody like I'm like, it seems like you're not getting it though. That's why I keep getting. So like, is this going to work? Like I'm like, is this reading going to fall flat? Or if there's somebody you're thinking about, or in the next couple days somebody pops in your head and you're like, oh, I wonder if it's that one, and they're very self-sufficient. Get yourself connected to them in some way, hang out with them a little bit, wait for the appropriate moment to give them a compliment on their self-sufficiency, however that comes through. Even if it's kind of like, how they did dinner and how they had everything set up and they were like had it all planned out a certain way, and you're like, wow, you really have it together. I'm very impressed. However you feel fit to say it. I'm very impressed. You had that all set together and it came out great. Like, wow, that comes out better than most people. I'm really impressed. You'll knock them over. They'll start being like they'll start really talking with you. You might be surprised how easy that opens up the door, because I feel like you'll know yes or no. If there's somebody you're questioning, they'll respond and you'll notice it right off the bat. When you give them that type of compliment, it'll just open everything right up. It's got to be at the appropriate moment, of course. You can't just find something random and be like, remember that thing 5 years ago where you did that? Wow, it's really self-sufficient. I'm really impressed with it. It's not going to work. You got to wait till the moment it presents itself, obviously. Anything else? I think we're about there. I feel like this is just getting that door open so we can move forward. Complimenting this person on their self-sufficiency. There's insecurity and complacency, and it's blocking this Knight of Cups. Doesn't have to be a love thing. But if this is somebody who wants to work with you, or you want to get closer to, or maybe could help your career, or maybe you're like, there might be a business opportunity you think with them, they just, if you tell them, if you give them a compliment on their self-sufficiency, it just has to be valid for the moment, obviously. It will really kind of get rid of those, and they'll offer whatever they want to offer. I feel like there'll be a conversation. Just keep the conversation going. Make sure it's not a fluff conversation. It's got to be grounded in reality. It can't be just a fluff thing. Like, you can't go on about the weather, and you can't go on about, how you like their hair, unless it seems like, unless they're a beautician or something and they put a lot of work in it. Then okay, then that, in that sense, it would be valid. But you know what I mean? It will open up the doors. The offer, whatever the offer is, be it romance or something else, it will easily flow through. And once it's in your, I feel like once you have the offer, you'll know what to do with it. Like, that won't be difficult. So, and long term is, I really think of cancer as long term. Like, long term is the cancer thing. I just feel like cancer doesn't like change. So if you don't like change, you want something you can not only get into, but rely on and enjoy. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you again for watching, and have a great day.